Good morning, Mark Finan in the home weather office on Monday, March the 13th, 2023. The morning briefing talking about the rain that we do have coming up, showers today, maybe a thunderstorm today. Of course, we've got the atmospheric river tomorrow with the wind and rain that we'll have to talk about. I'm also going to talk about the big picture, looking at not only the rest of the week, but also maybe even beyond that to see if there's going to be a change in this overall pattern. So let's get to what is going on today. Right now, we do have some light showers here and there. At the home office, I see sun and clouds, but as you can see over the last hour or so, there have been showers here and there, especially from Lake County and then on the west slope of the Sierra. There is some rain and snow going on, and I think that's the way the morning hours will go here. There'll be some hit and miss rain, but certainly nothing all that steady. But I think things will be filling in this afternoon, and this afternoon we also have the possibility of a thunderstorm. But today's just one of those days, kind of like what we had over the weekend. It rains, it stops, it rains, it stops. So let's go ahead and get into some of the model stuff. I'm going to show you the North American model, and this is picking it up this afternoon. I'll go into this afternoon in a little bit more detail here in just a second. But what I really want to get into is the storm tomorrow. But what you're seeing here is it's kind of like what I just showed you on radar. There's some on again, off again showers. This is tonight after sunset. Looks like the rain's going to pick up in advance of the system. The main system is out here, but it looks like we'll start getting some overrunning, maybe some warm air advection sort of precipitation as we go into the nighttime hours. Let's go to tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Here we are at 8 o'clock. The morning commute tomorrow, messy. Because not only do we have widespread rain, the snow level probably around 6,500 feet. But if you look at these black lines, and if you're familiar with weather maps, these are isobars, and the more tightly packed they are, the windier it is. And we'll likely see winds that'll be gusting up around 45, maybe 50 miles an hour. A low, surface low out in here. Tight pressure gradient, that means a southeasterly wind, 45, maybe gusting to 50 miles an hour, especially on the east side of the valley. Again, that's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning for the morning commute. And this is something different than what we were seeing in the model even last night. This is a little bit faster, but also pretty wet, and it's going to make tomorrow a pretty stormy day. So that's 8 o'clock in the morning. This is early afternoon. This is late afternoon. The pressure gradient is weakening somewhat, but we are still seeing some gusty winds. You notice how the precipitation starts to break up? Also notice the snow level may be above 7,000 feet on Interstate 80. It's going to be another sloppy mess in the Sierra. The difference with the model today from what we looked at last night was that by Wednesday, I'll go to Wednesday at 8 o'clock, that things are dry in the valley. We really thought that some of this may hang on into Wednesday. That's certainly not the case. There will be some snow in the Sierra. It looks on the light side, but we'll probably have chain controls on Wednesday morning. And then beyond that, the rest of Wednesday dries up. And then we will get a couple of dry days, or at least Thursday will be dry. We may see some showers during the day on Friday. So I do want to talk about that chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon. This is the HRRR model, which is a finer resolution model, and it helps to pinpoint thunderstorms, although it let us down a little bit yesterday. The atmosphere is still somewhat unstable today. And so I'm going to look at these hours right here. This is 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's Sacramento County and then down toward Tracy. So looks as though these little cells may pop up. There's also one down here in Merced County that also looks like it could be nasty. But so we're not going to rule out the chance of some thunderstorms this afternoon. Although the atmosphere, like I said, is a little bit more stable today. But still, maybe around 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we could see a thunderstorm pop up. And then the rest of the precipitation kicks in as we get into the afternoon. So let's talk about precipitation totals. And what I'm going to show you here are 12-hour accumulations so we can kind of fine-tune when the rain is going to be the heaviest. I know some of these numbers are going to be hard to read. It might be easier when I scroll over these. So by tomorrow morning, up and down the valley, the previous 12 hours have given us 1 to 2/10 of an inch of rain. This is, again, at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. So over the next 12 hours, by 5 o'clock in the evening, we're over an inch in Sacramento, 1.2 in Sacramento, a little bit more into Fairfield and Vacaville. It looks like Fairfield and Vacaville are going to do well again. That's what happens to these southeasterly winds. You actually get a bit of an upslope on the backside of the Coast Range. So you think about the mountains behind Vacaville and Winters, if you will. You actually get upslope winds, so you can get some pretty good rain totals there with the southeasterly wind. And you'll also notice the foothills here. And again, these are just 12-hour totals of around 1.5 inches. Pretty good rain. And then that's a 12-hour total at 5 o'clock And then the next 12 hours by early Wednesday, it's back down to a half an inch. So what that shows you is that we're going to see the heaviest rain during the day tomorrow, likely totals in the valley over an inch. So what does that do to our rivers? This is the latest forecast from the River Forecast Center on the Cosumnes. Right now, the level stands at about 8.3. Forecast now to go to 12.4, and that forecast is as of midnight on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, if you will, and then a rapid drop. 12.4, actually 12.9 is pretty high. There'll be a lot of water coming down the Cosumnes, but it should not be enough to severely impact Wilton, but that's one thing we'll have to keep an eye on. And also, I talked about this last night, how we're starting with this is where we started before the last storm, and this is the peak with the last storm, and now we're starting at a higher base. Now we're starting at 8.3. Last time we started at 5.3, and that gives us that higher peak. Well, it's not just the Cosumnes that would apply for. So that would also go for other areas, streams, and creeks. So for instance, in Sacramento County, last time areas like Arcade Creek, Dry Creek, they did okay. We're just going to have to keep an eye on those tomorrow afternoon. Some of those creeks in our areas that do come up rather quickly, they have a chance of coming up during the day tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. There's always that lull, that lag, if you will, between when we get the heavy rain and when the creeks come up. And it's not that this is going to be any heavier in terms of overall rain. It's just that we are starting at a higher base. Everything's a little bit wetter after the rain we've had the last couple of days. All right, let's get back to some other graphs, because what I want to show you here is the overall picture. This is what I'm showing you here is the 500 millibar chart. I've got to scoot it over here so I can advance it here. Yeah, there we go. So let me go back to the beginning on this, because what I want to show you here is just kind of go through time. And this is our 500 millibar flow. This is up around 25,000 feet, the jet stream, if you will. And so on this map, I know there's lots of squiggly lines, but California is right here. And then, yeah, there's Florida, there's Baja, etc. All right, so let's go through the next couple of days. Here's the flow that gives us that storm tomorrow, just that perfect southwesterly flow coming into California. It buckles somewhat, so we get a dry day on Thursday. A weak system goes by on Friday, probably Friday night, maybe Saturday morning. Gives us some light rain, nothing big. The flow buckles again, so we get a dry day on Sunday, Monday. But look at this, there's more next week. And now this flow right here, while it isn't going to bring us a lot of rain, it isn't going to really dry things up either. And that's my point here, is that we're going to continue to see cool weather with occasional showers. This is getting into Thursday the 23rd. There's another one here on Friday. This is Saturday the 25th. And it may not be until the 26th that we see a ridge moving in to maybe give us a sunny and warm day. It's been a really cool month so far. And my point here is that I just don't see that changing here for the next 10 days or more. And we haven't seen a 70-degree day yet in the month of March, and usually we see a lot of them. So that's everything I've got for you this morning. I'll be on KCRA at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11 tonight. And if everything goes right, I'll be on Facebook Live for a chat tonight at 8 o'clock. Have a great Monday.